What is up, everybody? It is Monday on the Translate Prophet. This week's topic is talking about sexuality and how it's progressed or developed over time. Growing up, for me, was really interesting because when you look at pictures of me from when I was in elementary school, I was a foot taller than most everybody in my class. So it made things awkward for me, and I just kind of ended up thinking I liked guys just because the sheer fact that I was okay, that's societal norms, and eventually they'll grow and be taller than me, and it was just really weird for me. I had one incident though where I had a girl, I believe, liked me, and it freaked me out though, just because I had never been taught how to handle that kind of situation when I was younger. As time progressed, I started having friends coming out, and apparently most of them had bets on me coming out as a lesbian or something. And once I had my first crush on a girl when I was identifying as a girl, and that was in 8th grade, that was the turning point for me where I started questioning everything. So eventually I just identified as bisexual for the longest time. At the end of my freshman year of high school, I was okay, well, I kind of need to make a decision. Do I like guys? Do I like girls? And I had had one real boyfriend at that point. I was I'm not really liking dudes that much. Ladies, on the other hand, yeah. But it wasn't until my sophomore year of high school that I had a real girlfriend, and that was fun. Me and my ex had dated for almost a year, and yeah. And I was I very much like women, but when I got to college, so fast forward 3 years, I had already started questioning my gender and all that. That was during my junior year of high school, but I didn't really date too many people after I started coming out. I had one girlfriend. She was great. We're friends now, and everything's peachy keen with that. But I ended up cheating on her and dating my now ex-boyfriend Ryan. Both of us being trans men. At the time when we started dating, we were both pre-T. You actually go to my personal channel and see a bunch of those things. I believe not a bunch, maybe a couple. We ended up dating for a year and a half, and then I started dating my now ex-girlfriend Kim, and that went for 8 months. But after her and I broke up, I was I kind of need to figure out who I am, because I just had back-to-back relationships and I wasn't really given the chance to explore myself really. And I kind of felt I was, I wouldn't say losing out on the college experience, but I was losing out on finding myself, and that's kind of what I feel college is about, is figuring out who you are. So once I got to college and I was single, so since November, I've figured out a bit more since then. I figured out my sexual orientation is a little bit out there and a little bizarre to a degree. To begin with, I am heteroromantic, meaning as in I only like to date women, but sexuality-wise, I'm somewhere between pansexual and demisexual. And pansexual, I imagine most of you already know, is attraction to all genders regardless of genitalia. And demisexual is where you have to form an emotional bond with someone before you're able to create any sexual feelings for them. So that's where I kind of stand, is I'm somewhere between. I have the ability to sexually be attracted to any person, whether they're male, female, trans, or non-binary, or whatever the case may be. But I have to develop an emotional attachment, whether it be romantic or platonic first. So that's where I'm kind of at now. It took me a while, and even before, breaking up, I was questioning some of my sexuality, and that, added complications to my relationship. But that's irrelevant to this topic. But yeah, so that's where I'm kind of sitting. There's so many parts to the acronym and umbrella terms for all that it's really a very long process to kind of figure out your sexuality and where you kind of stand, because there's no two people who are exactly the same in their sexuality. Well, that's all I got for you guys this week. I'll see you guys next week. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page and our Tumblr. Bye, guys.